Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Real quick, so today what we're talking about. I just wanted to throw a quick live one together, show you these rods I broke. If any of you, why I can't recommend certain rods and that kind of stuff. But before we go crazy talking negatively about Aliexpress rods, the cheaper Chinese stuff, let me just talk about the one that I can recommend, the Kying Tetons. See the Teton right here? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it. But all three rods that I've had, and I think they make maybe a couple of different actions you can get and powers, but that pretty much got it covered. And if you're this is the first time you're watching the channel, go back and watch the videos on the Kying Tetons. They're very awesome, cheap and affordable. They're not really cheaply made. They are actually made with pretty good components. They work real well. Most all of you would know by now, and if you don't, a lot of your Chinese stuff is pretty much made with the same kind of blanks coming from the same kind of company, just kind of like the Doyo uh, reel factories just putting out reels for a lot of different people. There's the same company, I think Toray it's called, or the Toray blanks you've heard it talked about, whether it be here in the States or wherever, the same kind of blank material. Some of these are like that and some aren't. But whatever they did with the Kying Tetons over these other rods is like way better. Now that's a two-piece, and I got the other piece right here. But half of these other rods you're looking at, they're not too. But I want to tell you real quick because I'm actually going to fix a couple of these and I'm going to repurpose them. I may even lengthen them or whatever. Now, here recently, I just had the 6'8" and the 6'6" medium Kying Conquerors. Not the Tetons. The Tetons are awesome. The Conquerors, not so much. These two rods snapped off during casting. The 6'6" medium, throwing half-ounce baits. Now, I know this one's not rated for that, but I got another video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Why I threw half-ounce baits on both of these, and they should have handled it if they're anything like a Teton, which they're not. But anyway, this rod broke, I would say, I'm 6 foot, and it comes up to my, probably just below my, I can't even know how to call that, pecs, I guess you would say. So it's got, where's the other end of it? We have probably 2 foot of tip that broke off, but I'm going to repurpose it. I'm going to not really repurpose it. I'm going to try to fix it just like it was and keep using it, and hopefully it doesn't break again. But if it does, oh well. I've already spent $125 on it. I know how to fix it. If you want to know how to fix it, I may put together a video doing that, but basically all I'm going to do on this one anyway, I'm going to fix it internally. So I'm going to take the end of this rod off, and I'm going to take a piece. I've got these other rods, and if you have enough rods like I do, I'm going to use maybe this one or another one, and I'm going to insert a piece of old rod inside this one, kind of like you see them joining two pieces together. So it's going to stick out, and then I'm going to take the old blank. Where's it at? The old tip that broke off. I can't even find it now. I got too many pieces of stuff around here. I want to say it's this. Here it is. So I'm back. We're just going to join these two together internally, and it's far enough down from the tip. I don't think it'll affect the action overall. The rod's got a slight bend right before there. That's why it broke. It'll make it just a touch stiffer right there than it was. If you guys don't know anything about that, I don't know. I may try to put the video together, but I may just get it done. The 662, I didn't really like it in the first place. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may just reuse the handle for a whole nother rod, keeping it a one piece. But you want to talk about the other rods that I've broke. And I'm going to say that one for last. I'll tell you the story about the Megabass Pagani. But anyway, air bamboo. The first rod, I bought this at the same time I bought the 6'3" Kying Teton. You guys have heard me talk about it maybe before, seen the video. The Tomo, that's the only name I could find on it. It's called a Tomo. Where's it at? Carbon fishing rod. See where it says Tomo, something right there. This thing actually wasn't horrible. I never did like this little short little handle. If you guys can see, I got a my hand looks huge with this little handle. I actually have a pretty big hand, but I didn't really ever like that. It just felt kind of weird. Didn't really ever like this rod. It was nothing as cool as the 632, which I bought the same time Cayenne Teton. Proceeded to break the tip on that one. Then this one, I actually like this one. I thought it was going to be a cool little rod. You guys have probably seen the Real Test talk about this, the CU Double. It was, I think it was even cheaper than what you can get them for now. And it came with 2 tips. I think it came with 2 tips, but I think I just ordered one with 1 tip, and it was like crazy cheap. It was like 15 bucks. It was like insanely cheap. Problem with this, the tip literally broke, and I think it's supposed to be a 5'2", or yeah, 5'6" 2-piece ultralight. So 5.5 foot long, and it actually has the kind of tips that you think I would like, because if you guys, I just recently got the Daiwa. It's got this crazy soft tip. I'll try to show you some action of this. The solid tip, and this part of it, whoa, where'd you go? Hang on. Is actually fine. The solid part is like can take a bending, and I bent both pieces after they broke, just to show myself like, well, it shouldn't have broke with that much force, because I broke this one just test flexing it. Like I pulled out of the package, put it together, and I was like, did it, snap. And so when you have, and I know the die was that way, and I think that most of them are, when you have a hollow piece to the solid tip, they join it somewhere or another, and evidently CU Double is joined weird. The material they used the 2 together was too flimsy, like it was weaker. You need to use something stronger than a 2 joining. Evidently they used the weaker of the 2, and it snapped right where they joined. But I'm gonna fix this. I may even extend it, because I don't really like 5'6", pretty short. So I may put, these 2 are almost the exact same diameter, so I may find something and extend this to get it, another 6 inches, or I may just fix it at least to right what it was and try it, since I do like the solid tips. But we're going to repurpose that one, the 6'8", and stay tuned for those videos of actually getting out here and casting them and seeing if the action is anything, or how they feel also. They shouldn't feel any worse than a 2-piece does, which some 2-pieces actually feel about as good as one. Now let me tell you about this. Any of you guys are like, oh, that's what you get, Charlie, for buying cheap stuff. You can get the same thing for buying expensive stuff. If you like to get out there and fish with your stuff, some of this stuff is just not meant to hold up. And I'm not dogging Megabass. The Destroyer X7 line, I had the 6'3" and the 6'6", the Cliffhanger 6'3" and the 6'6" Shading X, and I was thinking about getting the 6'9" Super Eiger. Anyway, the Destroyer lineup, the X7 rods, those are stout rods. I've had a few cheaper Megabass rods, not cheaper, older, I guess I should say, that you could get cheaper at the time than the X7 lineup. I snapped both of those. Like one, I'm just carrying them. I grabbed like 5 or 6 rods and was carrying them, and it went doink and broke. So it could have been damaged, I know, whatever. This rod I picked up, the Pagani, they're very lightweight. Now this one, the ratings were crazy off on it. I don't even know what I actually ended up trying. But I want to say it tries to tell me that it's good for, and you guys can be the judge. I'll try to get it to focus. Do you see those ratings? It's a 6'6". It's 1 piece. 1/8 to, what does that say? Is that 1 ounce? Or it's supposed to be, I don't know what it's supposed to be. But this rod broke, not even using it for anything very heavy at all. Maybe a 1/2 ounce. I can't remember what the heaviest I've thrown on this is. I didn't really throw the Pop Max on this one because I felt it was a little too, tip was a little light for anything over, 1/2 ounce or over. But 1/4 ounce, it was awesome. 1/8 ounce, it was real good for that. It was a cool little BFS rod that broke way too soon, the Pagani Air Bamboo. This was an expensive rod too. Will I be buying more Paganis in the future? Nope. You give me one, I'll take it. They're all some cool little rods to use, but they're not warranted, and so no more. I do plan on at some point either repurposing the top half of this, turning it into a 2-piece, putting a different tip on it, or just this handle assembly, because it's one of the coolest assemblies you'll find. I think they use something close to this still yet on the Steezes. But very cool rod. If you guys are rich, buy as many as you can and fish them until they break, and then I don't know. So anyway, stay tuned. I thought about taking this CU double if I like the way it feels, and then just adapting this tip over to the Pagani, and because it's got black on it, it would actually, any kind of a black tip on the end of this rod would be fine. So we're going to do something like that. We're going to do the 6'8" and get it going, try to get it back to exactly how it was, because I actually like that rod somewhat. I like the 6'5", maybe a touch better for overall stuff, but for like drop shotting or shaky heads, anything with a bigger single hook, I kind of like the 6'8". And it's probably, the ratings were a little off. It's probably a little stouter than what the ratings say. Because it will throw an eighth, but it's like the bottom limit of it. That's why I thought it should, and it really should throw over 3/8. It should have thrown the half ounce that it snapped on, but the blanks are a little weak. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. I'm not trying to dog Megabass again. They still make, they always have. They're kind of on the high end of the bling factor rods. You got Evergreen, of course Shimano. They're, you get nuts when you go on the high end Shimano, G Loomis, and that kind of stuff. Megabass, like I said, the X7 lineup, if they came back out with it again, or I got a chance to buy a couple different ones. It's just that the whole no warranty thing. If they would bring the X7 lineup over there, say Tackle Warehouse carried that just the old style Destroyer X7 with the spiral wrap looking thing all the way up to tip, I'd probably start buying those and trying to get the whole lineup. But without a warranty, I think I'm done buying rods without a warranty. Let me know what you guys think. I know we got the stimulus package. I got like $1,200. Just like, hey, here, look, take this, Charlie. I know I should go buy toilet paper with it, but let me know what you guys think. Should I go buy a high, is that a bug? A very high-end rod. I'm thinking G Loomis NRX 802C, possibly the 803, just so it'd be more versatile if I'm going to spend $600 for a rod. Should I just maybe jump in and get a couple of the, say, Shimano X Pride, a Shimano Zodius, something else, get a few different higher end as far as like, say, around 200 or more. Let me know what your comments are on that, because I got it in the back of my head to go in and buying one high-end rod. One high-end rod. But I'm telling you, I'm way too tight to buy a $600 fishing rod. It's like, takes everything in me, like, hey, because I can take a $100 rod, I can take a $200 rod, especially. I can take a $50 rod. I can take a Berkeley Lightning rod, $34.99 right now at Bass Pro Shops, and I can go catch fish, and I can have fun and all that kind of stuff. But when you can get some of these lightweight ones, which these the Tetons for sure, and these Conquerors are until they break, because these are pretty lightweight. These are probably a lighter weight, don't feel as tip heavy as the Destroyer X7 lineup. The bad thing is I've held a couple NRX in my hands. I've yet to hold a Shimano X Pride or a Zodius. I held a heavy, freaking like 7'4" heavy action Zodius, and it actually felt pretty light. But I haven't held those in my hand to, justify going and spend $250, $300 on a rod. Like, how am I going to know I even like it? But anyway, comment what you think. Or should I just fix this and just stop buying fishing rods, Charlie? You have a problem. It's time you face your addiction. You're addicted to fishing tackle and all that kind of stuff. No, never. All right, guys, get out of here. Go bass and bonsai. I'm going to get the glue out, and I'm not going to sniff it, but I'm going to start gluing up some of these poles, and I'll put a video out when I do get them done if they come out and we're using them, maybe on the water video. Comment. Let me know what you know about fishing rods. Let's make this into a fishing rod video. What kind of rods you use and all that kind of stuff. You'll see a video I have on, I bought a loose combo. I'm not knocking loose. It was actually a cool combo. If it would have came, I'm done. But it wasn't a bad combo. If it would have came in a shorter version, that 7'2" was just too, heavy and too heavy overall for me. So I did not keep that rod and reel combo, but I did a review on that setup, and actually it's not bad. And it's a tad expensive for some of you guys, but to get in, they look cool, especially if you got a teenager think about fishing. You can give them that cool looking rod and reel. A lot of times they're just out there for that, cool factor going with you. It's better than some of the, you know, stuff about the same price, but just looks dull to them. Lew's does have the cool, I like the knobs, the look of it. I like the wind grip, the feel. I kind of am debating on whether I should go with something like that, because you can order that parts from the mud hole, and I could put that on some of these rods instead of putting a cork handle on the ones when I start changing stuff around. But anyway, comment on that too. Comment on everything. I'm out of here. I got to go get some glue. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Built Ford Tough. These rods are going to be Built Ford Tough. If you drive a Chevy, I'm sorry. If you drive a Dodge, I'm really sorry. But seriously, I'm out of here. Bye.